Do you ever feel completely overwhelmed as a mom? I've been there. I have 6 kids, and I remember one time in particular when I had 3 little ones and they were all crying at the same time. And then pretty soon there were 4 of us crying. It was horrible. This type of overwhelm paralyzes you. It just makes you feel like you can't do anything, and the things that you try don't go well, they don't help. Depression can set in that could last from hours to days or even longer. Today, I'm going to give you 6 things that you can do to stop the overwhelm other than watching TV. Hi, welcome to The Peaceful Home. I'm Teresa, and I'm so glad you've joined me today. I trust that if you clicked on this video, you're either feeling overwhelmed right now or you've definitely dealt with it in the past. You might have a new baby and you're struggling just to brush your teeth or comb your hair. You might have toddlers or very active preschoolers who are going 24/7, fighting, whining, clinging to you constantly. Coming up, I'm going to be doing videos on dealing with clingy kids, because that's a whole nother side of being overwhelmed, as well as learning how to prioritize as a mom and the only 2 chores that you need to be doing when you're overwhelmed. If you could, would you please comment below and let me know where you're feeling overwhelmed? What are the most difficult things for you as a mom? This will allow me to make content that hopefully will provide as much help as possible. And if you're not subscribed, please consider it. It's completely free. That subscription is just a vote for my channel. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll be alerted each time I post a new video. I'm ready to jump into these 6 tips, and none of these have anything to do with being more organized, cleaning your house better, coming up with a better system. These are things just to help you survive. Number 1, go on a walk. Now hold on, don't turn off the video. Hear me out. Getting outside does so much for your hormones, for your mood. You guys know this. You have to put some trust in that and be willing to try it. Going for a walk gets you exercise. And how many moms struggle to exercise? That just went down the drain until well after I had my 6 kids. It gets you in the sunshine, which is so important, especially if you go in the morning. And it also allows your children to be out in the fresh air and see new things. Now, there are so many ways you can tackle this depending on your situation and how old your children are. If you have a baby and a toddler, start with a stroller and maybe a carrier. Listen to an audiobook. Try a novel, a really great classic that will make you want to walk longer so you can keep listening. My rules with audiobook are use them when you're walking, when you're cleaning, or when your kids are asleep or in quiet time. Do not listen while you are supposed to be engaging with your family. Number 2, go in the backyard or the beach or the park. And the reason for this is I want you to let your kids get dirty. Even if you have a beautifully manicured backyard, find a corner that you can temporarily mess up. Allow your kids to dig a hole to China. Kids love to dig. It's so good for them. Let them build forts. Let them create things with rocks and sticks and logs. If you live in the city or in an apartment, then go to a park where there's a sand pit. Take gallons of water so your kids can play with water and sand together. This is not only important for them, but it pushes you into mom mode in a healthy way. You're going to have to get those kids home or bring them in and get them all cleaned up. Bath time, snacks, and it just kind of forces you to do that, and it can be really great. The one rule I had for my kids when they were playing in the rain or in the mud was they get to do it one time. So if they played out there for an hour and they come in and they take baths and they're all warm and cozy, they're not going back out in the same day. Boundaries are good. My 3rd tip for when you are completely overwhelmed is to find a friend. Now, if you've got a kindred spirit friend, you need to reach out to them. You need to be honest about where you're at and how overwhelmed you're feeling. Now, what if you don't have friends? What if you're an introvert? What if you're new to the area? What if you just haven't clicked with anyone? I have a few suggestions. First of all, check out MOPS. It stands for Mothers of Preschoolers, and they are all over the country in the US, usually at churches. And it's a program offered for moms to come. You have quality childcare. You have an opportunity to interact with adults, to hear an inspiring message and be encouraged. Another option is a homeschool group. And you can do this even if you aren't homeschooling. If you have preschoolers and you have every intention of putting them in school, I've never heard of a homeschool group that doesn't welcome those moms in. A lot of times there's things for preschoolers, field trips, park days, and these are great ways to meet other like-minded parents. Maybe you used to go to church, but you haven't been for a long time. It might be time to go and look for a friend. Other options are going to a library during a preschool story time, or even the kids section of a store. Now, I encourage you to be brave. If you're an extrovert, you'll have no problem. If you're an introvert, it can be a little tough, but give it a try. Approach another mom and just say, hey, I'm new to the area and I'm trying to meet other moms. Or, hey, I'm just looking for other moms to connect with. Would you be interested in meeting at the park one day? Exchange numbers, meet at the park. That's the first kind of safe, easy route. After that, if there's a connection, invite them to your home. One thing you can do with another mom is not only meet and be able to talk and share and encourage one another, but you can set up accountability. First of all, if one of you is really struggling, the promise to reach out. I will say, if any of you are struggling with suicidal thoughts, harming yourself or your children, please reach out to a professional. It's the best thing you can do, and there is no shame in reaching out for help. The other thing you can do with your friend is set a goal for the week. Maybe it's one thing that you've been putting off because you've been feeling so sad and overwhelmed. Let them know your plan. Say it's to clean out your car. And then when you do it, you text them and let them know. It's a great way to stay connected and to have some accountability. Number 4, don't stress about meals. Now, cereal for dinner is totally fine, but cereal for every single meal might not be the best thing. You probably need to get some protein in there. But figure out, what is your hardest time? Is it first thing in the morning? Is it dinner time? Have cereal then. Maybe make scrambled eggs for breakfast, have cereal for dinner. Maybe your kids have beef sticks and cheese for breakfast and you're able to cook for dinner. Cold sandwiches are easy, as well as just your basic charcuterie board. Put all of your snack items on a cutting board or a large platter and let your kids go to town. Even eating out, if you're not on a strict budget, can be really helpful. Remember, this is survival. This isn't what you are doing for the rest of your lives. This is just to get through tough times. Number 5, go for a drive. This can be one of the best things for the worst overwhelm. And here's why. First of all, your children are contained. They're safe. They're in their car seats. They're buckled in. They're not messing up your house. They're not fighting, usually. Play music, listen to a story in the car, sing together, play I Spy. A lot of kids are happy just to be quiet in the car and look out the window. Go through a drive-through. Get yourself a snack or a coffee. There's been days when my daughter has done this, and we live 20 minutes from town. So 20 minutes into town, maybe 10 to 15 just to drive around and grab a coffee, and 20 minutes back can give you an entirely new perspective. Number 6, consider taking a break from social media, at least from things that cause you stress or cause you to compare yourself. This is not a season when you need to be comparing yourself to other people. We don't usually do that in our favor. We usually end up feeling less than and like we're not doing enough. And if you're already struggling, you don't need more of that. Do a radical unfollowing of things that don't truly bring you joy. Watch and listen to things that teach you, that inspire and encourage you. Well, there you go. 6 things that you can try when you are completely overwhelmed. Now, I didn't mention prayer, but that should be the icing that goes over the entire thing. I guarantee you that God cares more about you and your children than you do. He hears your cry. He sees all of the little things, and He wants to walk with you. He wants to be with you in the midst of your struggles. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is near the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed." I know there were so many times when I felt completely crushed as a mother. God never promises to just change our circumstances, but He promises He will never leave us or forsake us. If you have a specific prayer request for your family, please leave that below. I would love to pray for you. Thank you so much for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. God bless you.